Hello, this recording will go through the highlights of the October 2017 Lifestyle Assessment release. This time the updates are mainly technical, improved usability features and additional features to the Lifestyle Assessment program. In addition to that, there were a few look and feel type updates to the end client emails and group reports to match the general look that goes with all parts of the Lifestyle Assessment service today. So I'm just going to go through the program and show the new features that were added, starting with the Tools menu here on the home page. Most of these were already added in the last couple of releases, and hopefully you're familiar with them, but you'll notice there is now a new thing called Customer Survey. And when you go here, you can view the customer feedback that your clients have been giving to you about the service that you are providing. If at least 10 responses have been provided, this starts accumulating these kind of statistics. And the idea is to provide you some valuable statistics about your service that you can use to improve your service and also for some marketing purposes. Under informal feedback, you can also see if the client has used the open field to add some comments. You can check those kind of comments here anonymously, of course, and then the result just accumulates different percentages about their satisfaction and things like that. This feature automatically, the questionnaire automatically goes to all your clients unless you turn it off in the admin function, and I can show where that can be done. Another new feature under the Tools menu is the device log, which lists all the devices, all of your own devices that you are using. If a device is assigned to a specific assessment at the time, it would show it here under ongoing assessments, and then it also shows the previous assessment to which it had been used. So that helps your device management by doing this, and many of you might remember this from the old Lifestyle Assessment side. All right, and then the admin tool also has some added functionalities, system options, and as you remember, we have already had the service branding added before that allows you to fill in, add your logos and customize the cover page of the report. And then under the general menu, you can make some specifications for your account. For example, decide if you're going to be using the pre-questionnaire and the customer survey. So if you for some reason didn't want customer survey results, you could turn it off here, but otherwise the clients will have a chance to give you some feedback anonymously. Under specialists, it lists all the specialists that are assigned to your account. And you can also see how many assessments each specialist has created, and you can see account-wide statistics here, how many assessments have been created and how many reports have been created. And here you can also manage your specialists, but no longer it's no longer possible for you to add new specialists for your account. That's something that you'll have to ask us to do here. So if you are adding a new professional user who is going through the Firstbeat training, we're happy to do that for you, but it has to be done centrally from our administration program here. And then under the event log tab, the admin user of the account can see specifically what each of the professional user has done on the account, if there is some need for some control like this. This is particularly in cases where it's important that each professional user can only view the information of their own clients, and you need to emphasize that with your professional users, so you can tell them that everything is tracked in the program, and that way they really know that they have no rights to go into any other information except their own clients. Most of you might not have need for this, but if it's needed, then the admin user can check that here. And of course, it's good for you to carefully think who is the admin user of your account. Typically, there is just one or two people who are the admin users and who have access to all this kind of account-wide information. Okay, then on the group assessments here, groups create new group. There is a cool new feature for if you're doing follow-up groups. So in the past, you had to actually recreate a group if you're doing a follow-up assessment, but now you can go to new group from existing group. So instead of you having to bring the profiles again, you can go to new group from existing group, and it will bring the profiles that you had on the first assessment, and then you just go through the list and see if you need to add a few names or maybe take somebody off who is no longer participating, but basically the group is already there, and it will save you some time and mouse clicks when you can do it from here. And then when you're creating a new group assessment, here if you are using the Firstbeat Center model in addition to your own devices, like many of you are, particularly in the UK, in Sweden and Finland, in USA, you have to make the selection right at the beginning of the group assessment. Are you going to be using your own devices for this project, or are you going to be using the Firstbeat Center? It can't be changed afterwards because the whole process starts going along a different track from this point on. So at this point, you do need to know which model you're going to be using for that. And after that, it proceeds just like in the past when you start adding the profiles to the group. Also, I'm going to open an existing group here and show a small change that some people had been giving feedback on, that it used to be kind of hard to change the professional user for a group. If, for example, you have a person leaving the company and you need to assign a new professional user for that. So now if you go here to edit, and you can see the professional user who has been assigned to the group. If I go here to the edit view, I can take away the current professional user. Maybe it was a mistake, or you just need to change that. And then when I add a new professional user here and OK, it actually reminds me that these clients are now going to be assigned to me. In the past, they sort of stayed orphaned and you had to do some maneuvering to assign professional users for them, but now it's easily done here, and the program automatically will remind you that these clients will now be changed. And if I save it, then everything is taken care of for this purpose. Okay, and then one more addition in the measurements view. So opening an individual assessment here now. Oops. Individual assessment, and when I go to the measurements view, we added a very practical, handy feature that those who have been doing a lot of assessments surely have noticed. So sometimes the client clearly has not been very accurate with the sleep markings. They're asked to put the time when they go to sleep and when they wake up, but sometimes they don't follow that very closely, and you can visually sometimes see right away, like for example here on the second morning, it's quite obvious that they woke up here where the heart rate generally jumps up, but instead there is almost an hour of awake time in the sleep period. And obviously this is going to have a fairly significant effect on the sleep score if there is an hour of awake time on that. So in the past you had to go to journal and actually change the journal marking, but now if you go to edit measurements, you can grab the sleep line with the mouse and drag it to the what visually seems very clearly the wake up time. That was a split point, but the actual sleep period here, if I drag that to where it seems to match with where the heart rate comes up, like that, a little bit more. And then when I save that, it asks me that do I want to have the measurement split again based on the sleep period changes. And now when I say yes, it will make a more accurate estimation of the sleep period. So this is handy when you see that one morning or a couple of the mornings have an inaccurate marking. Of course, then it's different if you notice that all the journal markings seem to be off, for example, because the time zone was different. So the client started the measurement in a different time zone than where the bodyguard was prepared. So in that case, you would still go to edit measurements and change start time, and then it changes the start time for the entire measurement, and then all the journal markings fall into place. So handy new features added for your convenience. And then if you look here under the advanced tab, clicking that open, this shows the missing heart rate, which is basically the error percent of the whole measurement period. Usually you probably don't have, if you see visually that the data looks fine, this is not necessary to go check here as a routine. But if for some reason you notice that there is a lot of problems with the data, there's a lot of red line instead of the blue heart rate graph, a lot of maybe missing periods, a lot of erroneous periods, you can come here and check to see what the overall missing heart rate percent is. And if it's very high, let's say if it's over 20% over the whole period or even way more, then you definitely would consider redoing the measurement and maybe not even creating a report and consuming an assessment credit for that. So this is kind of a preview site where you can see how much error there actually was in the measurement. Our recommendation is that if there is more than 20% without some kind of a clear, maybe one long break that explains that, then it's good to do the measurement again. And in this view, you can also download the measurement data, so the so-called FBE file, which is the RR intervals of the measurement, if you for some reason had the need to export it to another program or something like that. Not part of routine use by any means, but some researchers, for example, might have use for that. So used to be in the old lifestyle assessment, and now you can find it here in the new lifestyle assessment as well under the Edit Measurements and Advanced tab. So that's pretty much the changes that we added this time. Nothing real major for your everyday use, but hopefully the new features will make your work a little bit easier. And the easiest way to learn them is just to go and click and check them. So good luck with that, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.